Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to make a really quick video. As you can see right here, going to be doing a video today, talk about a little bit live on in the live, and about humans will be genetically modified for the first time in Europe. Scientists get to go ahead to use DNA splicing therapy to treat blood disorders. And I just want to know, has anybody ever heard of this one before? I know that there's a lot of talk about doing a lot of DNA work, splicing the genes, etc., within the DNA itself of human beings. Just want to let you know, this is serious business in terms of what's getting ready to happen here. We're going into a whole new realm of science. Science actually has been around for quite some time, and I do believe that they've been doing it for quite some time. They're just now bringing it public, and this is going into the very heart of what we are as beings of people. This is one of the reasons why, Alive, I am indigenous, African Americans and Africans, and a lot of other people that are out there right now doing what we're doing, is trying to make sure that people have an understanding that we are going into a new era of things. And if we don't get ourselves together, we're going to be extremely serious trouble in terms of what they're trying to do to us as people. Sorry about that, guys. Dogs are getting a little excited. So just want to read a little bit of this article here to you, because this DNA stuff, I mean, I'm telling you, if it turns to what we're doing in chemtrails, and if you haven't looked at the one about the chemtrails yet, take a look at the chemtrails articles that I got up there, a video that I got up there. Did that on Dark Matter Radio, and we turned it into a live stream video, so that you can have a really good understanding of what's happening to your environment. If we do not organize ourselves and make sure that we are in charge of our own being, we are in serious trouble. Serious trouble. So take a look at that video that I got up there on YouTube about chemtrails and what it's doing to our airs, and if it's real or not. You'll be extremely surprised. So please go to our Patreon page. It's Patreon/Dark Matter Radio, Ronnie McLean, and become a Patreon member. That way we can keep these programs going, keep it live, and usually don't advertise, but it's extremely important that we do get that out there. So humans will be genetically modified for the first time in Europe as scientists go ahead to use DNA splicing therapy to treat blood disorder. Now, the blood disorder that they're talking about is known as beta thalassemia and could cure using this therapy. The disorder reduces the production of hemoglobin, which carries oxygen to the blood. Scientists plan to cut away the component which is representing the production of hemoglobin. This is really crazy. This is coming out of the Daily Mail, and there's been a few people that have been researching this. But like I tell you, this has been going on for quite some time. Dulce, Mexico, they have reports that they've been doing DNA splicing of human DNA for quite some time, mixing them in with all different types of animal DNA and stuff like that. But as far as this one goes, humans will be genetically modified for the first time in Europe. Regulators have given the go-ahead to trials for DNA splicing therapy. A destructive blood disorder known as beta thalassemia, which reduces the production of hemoglobin, could be cured by using this therapy. Notice how they use could be cured, right? Everything's a cure and everything is 100%. But they really don't tell you that they're messing around with the very building blocks of your life with that. Now, they're saying that these vaccines do the same thing. Remember, there was a guy down there at the CDC who called out the vaccines as being really bad for people. Next thing you know, he was missing for 3 days, and then they found him dead, that black guy. So this is serious. Hemoglobin carries the oxygen the body needs to its cells, and without sufficient amounts of those, with the disease can be left with bone deformities, anemia, slow growth, fatigue, shortness of breath. Scientists, biotech company CRISPR hope that they can alter the body's code, to stop the genetic manipulation and restore healthy levels of hemoglobin. Insane. The disease is the first to be treated using this method in Europe. And in Europe, and experts have said that the trials have become promising. Right? Similar trials have taken place in China, told you, right? They're doing this all around the world. However, they do not have the same restrictive regulations as Europe and the US, which means that they are off the hook doing a lot of this DNA splicing to your genes. Professor Robin Lovell Badge, group leader of London's France Click Institute, holds Sunday Telegraph. We will look back. This is a quote now. We will look back and think that this is the real beginning of gene therapy. See, before it was that test tube baby that they did back, I think, in the 70s, right? 70s, early 80s. Then they started getting into a whole lot of other different stuff. But like I said, they've been doing this for quite some time. This type of therapy has been used for the past 30 years as doctors dispense the missing DNA from damaged cells to increase their effectiveness. Now, as I said before, they've been doing this for quite some time. Now they're saying they've been doing it for 30 years, which means they've been doing it for at least 30 to 40 years before that. But the work taking place at CRISPR may be more long-term solution, which also holds proven and to be cheaper. So now they're trying to get into this cheaper situation, trying to get you into this thing so then that way you can you can buy into this, right? They always got to get you to buy into something. The therapy uses bacterial natural defense mechanism, which carries and stands of deadly viruses so that they can recognize them, right? If they come into contact with the virus, they are able to release an enzyme in order to attack and cut away at that form of code. So they were manipulating the actual code within inside of your body to be able to go after the code that is within those particular type of viruses. Now that sounds good, but the thing is that they, how much do they really know about this DNA, and should they really be messing around with the human code that is actually putting us all together? Scientists have taken this on board and created their own cutting mechanism, which removes the mutilated areas of DNA. Now, I mean, if they can really begin to start splicing your DNA and create, I mean, what are they creating? Are they creating something that is different from a human being? However, this treatment will hopefully one day be used on humans. The trials will take place outside of the human body. Sure, stem cells will be harvested from the body and growth in laboratories before increasing their levels of total fluorum halogen. This is a high-level protein which is presented in babies. However, it represents a human reaches adulthood. Let me say that again. This is high-level protein present in babies. However, it repressed when human reaches adult. So where are they getting these stem cells from? Right? They had to get them from the aborted fetuses, which millions and millions and millions are happening every single year, and hundreds of thousands are happening every single day. Thousands of abortions happening every day, and God only knows where else they might be getting some of these abortions are taking place at 9 months old. Right? So we got a lot of different things that are going on here. And it's crazy. So, I mean, we as a being of people stand the only chance on the face of this earth to be able to wake up to do something about what is going on. But now, when you start talking about messing around with people's DNA and changing the very fiber, the very fabric that you are actually made of, right? That tells you exactly what all of your history, because that goes all the way back. If they're taking pieces out of your DNA And remember, they have still a whole strand of this DNA that they call junk DNA, and they don't even know what it's all about. So a lot of this is all, again, this is all in a lot of the paperwork that we put out, where they're doing all the science that, they are just changing the people any way that they can. And who knows if they're taking certain things out of your code. The DNA, some people say the DNA has a programmable sequence in it that tells you when you're going to die. Or, you could turn some of this DNA on because there's clicks and switches, right? There's a neutral on and off switch in the DNA. And the way that you can begin to start rearranging these codes, it's turning them on and off. They're not talking about turning them on and off. They're talking about taking it out, taking pieces of your DNA out, so then that way it can begin to start recognizing other different programming the way that they want it to. So they're into programming biologics. And you are the biologics that they're programming. Now, have they been programming you also with, they've been programming you psychologically, mentally, spiritually. They're programming people through their food. They're programming people through a whole lot of different types of things. So get into this, take a look, right? As the scientists plan to remove the gene which represents the growth of the protein and will allow the patient's bone marrow to again produce high levels of hemoglobin. That's serious because that's where all the stuff is made, right there in your bone marrow, right? Dr. Griffin, professor of the genetics at the University of Kent, told Sunday's Telegraph, "Everything I have seen suggests it's very safe and effective." It suggests it's very safe and effective. Well, good luck to you. I think the trial results will be positive. And when we will be able to say, this is where it all began. The University of Pennsylvania has begun enlisting the trial, which plans to use CRISPR to treat patients with cancer. So, they got this, this fake cancer stuff going on up here where they're getting everybody cancer. A lot of that cancer stuff, as this other guy, this doctor down at the CDC brought out that a lot of these vaccines were programmed to give you cancer. I said it was already stated that back in the 70s and 80s, right? And even in the early 90s that, a lot of these vaccines weren't safe from you. And it also tears apart a lot of your the immune system, and again, those are the vaccines that just aren't safe for you. Those are the contaminated vaccines, right? There's a lot of vaccines out there that actually really do work, right? So I'm not against vaccines. I'm against the vaccines that got all that aluminum and all those oxides and stuff in there, like the kind of stuff that they're spraying up in the sky. So just wanted to give a quick little video on this, just to give you guys an understanding of what's going on out here. He's talking about these the human and genetically modified for the first time in Europe as scientists go ahead and use DNA splicing therapy to treat blood disorder. I mean, there's a lot more that's going into this than I'm talking here. I'll have a bit more of a deeper program on Dark Matter Radio and see if I can get even somebody to come on and even talk about it. But anyway, we'll have a little bit more. You guys, again, your donations are extremely important. We're going to be having a very special show introducing the website I Am Indigenous, and in I Am Indigenous there's a lot of different things on there that's going to be amazing. I mean, just absolutely amazing. And so please get on to our Patreon page, Dark Matter Radio Ronnie McLean, and it's Patreon/Dark Matter Radio Ronnie McLean, and become a Patreon subscriber. So then that way we can keep In Alive going. We can also keep a lot of the Dark Matter Radio programming going and be able to get a little bit more in detail with that as well. And then we'll be able to get out there to the community and begin to start having live conferences and programs dealing with a lot of these different things, right? So thank you again. Appreciate it. You guys have a very great day. Have a very good day, and be blessed. And I will talk to you soon. Please, if you heard of anything like this, if you plan on doing any of these trials, leave a comment down below, and we will talk to you soon. Have a great day. All right. And a peace to everyone.